Welcome to the 4th episode of the season of Gears and Beers, a show where freedom-loving, gun-toting, capitalist pigs talk about gear we love, gear we hate, gun industry news, and whatever else trips our freedom trigger along the way. On the topic list tonight, a judge blocks a ban in Colorado, the ATF's frame and receiver rule goes into effect, but Polymer 80 is still selling, ATF launches an app for anonymously reporting gun crimes, the new M2.0 metal from Smith & Wesson, the Sig X-Macro from Smith & Wesson, and the Radian Ramjet Afterburner. On our panel tonight, it is just that stupid guy there, Sam, the owner of Shyworks, Iowa's preferred Cerakote applicator, and I'm your host, Box. This show is brought to you by Shyworks. Sam, what's going on at Shyworks?
Oh, just the usual. If you're not familiar with us, we are Iowa's certified customers preferred Cerakote certified provider. So what we do is we take your gun and take your idea of what you want it to look like and make it a reality, whether that's just a simple flag on it or a crazy design, a battle worn, a camo, whatever you want, we can make it happen. That's what we specialize in. So you can check out all of our work on our Facebook, facebook.com/Shyworks, otherwise shyworks.com. We got a gallery on there as well. You can check everything out. You can also use coupon code LSLF10. That'll get you 10% off everything on the website, from lasered mags, Glock backplates, mag bases, shirts, patches, hats, all sorts of goodies. That's coupon code LSLF10. It's 10% off. So go check that out.
Yes, sir. We are also brought to you by Ballistic Imagery, brand building photography. Check them out on Facebook and ballisticimagery.com. Ballistic Imagery, make an impact. Before we jump into anything else, I was having some audio difficulties here a minute ago, so if something is askew, please let me know. Nobody's bitching about no audio yet, so you must have at least something. Other than that,
askew,
yeah.
That's a fancy word for you.
Is it? It's like 5 letters, dude. What?
Did you watch last week, Box? I actually managed to stream this from my computer, mind you, and not just my phone. Were you impressed?
I watched a little bit of it. Yeah, I was pretty impressed.
Yeah.
I had to jump on there and see Cliff still talking about me, even though I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think maybe you're onto something.
Yeah. I wonder, did you see my comment last week, Moody? Or Cliff? That's weird to call you Moody.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm
so
on something.
who else is in here? I see we got some guys on here. What are you drinking tonight? I myself am drinking the last of a little bottle of Woodford Reserve. This was a customer gave that to me. So this is my current favorite customer. He gave me a whole bottle of whiskey and a whole round of silver and a few other things. So yeah, definitely my favorite customer. But this stuff is actually pretty good. I'm enjoying it. What are you drinking, Box?
I'm drinking water.
Getting crazy tonight.
Yep. I've turned a new leaf.
You made me do a shot of whiskey before we started the podcast last night, and here you are drinking water.
Yeah. Well, I was out in the sun all day long, so I think it's probably a good idea to hydrate.
Jeez.
And I drink a lot, so one night off is probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay, well, you ready to... What?
You doing landscaping or something?
Yeah, we're... well, not really landscaping, seeding a lawn, so just laying out straw blankets.
Oh, that's fun
is
stuff.
what I'm doing, and it's horrible and awful, and I really wanted to tell him no, but I figured, he needs the help. I should probably help him.
Cliff says, I assume he's talking about you drinking water. It helps his completion. Maybe he means complexion. I mean, otherwise completion sounds kind of...
Are you talking
dirty,
about whiskey dick?
Who knows? Who knows?
Okay. Well, are you ready to jump into the news?
Yep. Sure.
Cliff says, "Fuck off, Sam." Same old Cliff. Glad to have you here. Okay, first up on the news, the judge, was it a federal judge, has blocked a magazine ban and a weapons ban in Boulder, Colorado. Boulder County, Colorado. I looked into it a little bit earlier, but my mind is not exactly working at 100% tonight, so I figured why don't you tell us about it, Sam, because I was confused by it for some reason.
Yeah, so it was actually a Biden appointed judge. So that's interesting. We're not just getting these rulings out of just Trump appointed or conservative judges. We're getting them out of Biden appointed judges as well. So what this is, they put a restraining order. Rocky Mountain Gun Owners was the one, I believe, that brought this case, and they put a restraining order on the assault weapons ban of Boulder County, Colorado. So what this does, it obviously blocks it for 2 weeks. It's just a restraining order, so it's going to block it for 2 weeks. And then I think it's like September 8th or something like that. They're going to have a status update, at which point she will more than likely, it sounds like, put an injunction on it, which, I mean, will essentially stop it. So this is an assault weapons ban with a magazine restriction. I think it was like 10 or 15 rounds or something like that. Plus, what they have, a rapid trigger actuators as well. So they ban those as well. But the exciting part about this is that they're using the Bruin decision to strike down things like these, because when the Supreme Court rules, in judge or in a case as they did with the Bruin decision, it has massive ramifications. That's why we were so excited about this, and we're finally starting to see some of this stuff come to fruition. So hopefully we see more and more of this stuff. She ruled it was a Second and 14th Amendment violation, which obviously it's a Second Amendment violation. So yeah, that's pretty exciting that we're seeing Biden appointed judges actually using the Bruin decision as well. So that's pretty much all I got on that for you, though.
That was it was confusing to me because I didn't quite get the restraining order part of it. That seems, I didn't know restraining orders were used in that manner. And I was reading also too that they used this because they filed a similar lawsuit in Superior. I read, so they want to fight these cases together is what they're thinking with this restraining order, is what I got out of it anyways.
I don't know about that exactly. I can't speak on that.
Gosh, I thought you were up to date on this shit. Come on.
No, moderately up to date. I would say more up to date than the majority of people, but that doesn't mean that I know jack shit.
Yeah,
I know the bare minimum.
The one article I read said something about them filing a very similar lawsuit in another county or city, and they want to kind of streamline the process or something since they're the same case.
Right.
Essentially just different counties or jurisdictions.
Did you see the whole assault carry? Is it the assault weapons ban in Colorado or in California that's getting a hearing as well? I believe it is. Yeah, there's all sorts of good shit going on in the Ninth Circuit. One of the main ones is it was out of Hawaii, actually. So Hawaii they haven't issued a carry permit in like 15 or 20 years or something like that. So one person that was denied is fighting it, and this has been like years and years and years in the making because they are fucking ridiculous. So because of the Bruin decision, this was struck down, and actually the Supreme Court ordered this to be remanded back to the Ninth District. And then the Ninth District, instead of doing what they should have done and rehearing the case and ruling on it, they freaking remanded, or they kicked it all the way back down to the judge that ruled on it. And I believe that was Benitez or something like that. And he's pissed because this shouldn't ever been kicked back down to him. So this is the assault weapons ban that's going on there. So there's a bunch of exciting shit going on in the Ninth Circuit. Don't take my word for it. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but go and Gears and Gadgets is
Guns
one that
and Gadgets.
Guns and Gadgets is one on YouTube I get a lot of info from, as well as Legally Armed America. And there's several others. Armed Scholar is a good one too. They tend to explain this stuff far better than I do, but lots of exciting shit going on as far as rulings resulting from the Bruin decision.
You're saying exciting things in the Ninth Circuit, but they're kind of notorious for doing total dog shit.
Oh, they're horrible. And like I said,
so who knows how things are going to go there.
They're fucking horrible. They were supposed to read rule on this particular case, but instead they just wanted they're so anti-gun. They did the worst thing possible and kicked it all the way back down as far as it could possibly go, because they're a bunch of cucks. I mean, it's just freaking ridiculous. Just ridiculous. But justice will be served. It's just a matter of time. So that's a plus, at least.
Maybe. Okay. Next up, if you aren't aware, I think it's been exactly a week now. It was last Wednesday where the ATF's new frame and receiver rule went into effect at midnight, right at midnight on Wednesday. And at that point, Polymer 80 had stopped selling. But as of the 24th, I believe, they came out and they're now offering more three options from them. They're not like everybody else who's just stopped selling 80% whatsoever. So they have three options. The first being an unserialized frame, pin, rails, and the locking block without the jig or drill bits. And the second one comes with the jig, but it's serialized. And the third one is what they're calling the Build Back Better kit, which is pretty clever. That comes with everything you need. That includes the slide assembly and a upper parts kit, and it's obviously serialized. So the two of them you need to have sent to an FFL. But we thought that was kind of interesting that since the 80% themselves are kind of a legal gray area at this point, nobody really knows exactly what's going to happen with them. So a lot of businesses, their consultants or whatever, their lawyers are saying probably better not sell those anymore. But Polymer 80 has got the balls to keep on trucking, apparently. Thought that was kind of interesting. What are your thoughts?
Well, if you actually read the rule, and I've spent a decent amount of time reading it, it's legal, just actually garbage. But there is the theme that you get from it is they are essentially saying that readily convertible, and that means the kits. They always say kits. They specifically are going after the kits. So if they're not selling these kits, then technically by the letter of the law, well, not even by this bullshit ruling that's not constitutional, it should be fine. So I'm excited to see, and frankly, I think they're in the right. I think that the ATF is going to try and attack them, but I think they'll ultimately win. But the shitty part is, and I think I talked about this a little bit on the previous Gears and Beers the live I did, but they're also saying, like, they went after JSD Supply for selling the jig separately from the receivers, the 80%ers. So they said, well, since they can buy this and then they can buy that separate, well, that constitutes a firearm, even though you sell it separately. Right. So it's fucking just absolutely ridiculous. But I'm hopeful that I think ultimately this will stand and you will be able to buy 80%ers. Pisses me off though, because I'm losing business out of this. I just had a large order of like 16 80% lowers. Guy just wanted them black, but I have to fucking serialize them now, even though, there's no law that says that. The ATF just decided that. But chances are, and he's going to think about it, but I'm guessing he's not going to fucking do it because that's the whole point of building an 80%er. You don't want it serialized. I mean, so yeah.
You should serialize them all with fuck the ATF and then followed by a number. Fuck the ATF 1, fuck the ATF 2.
Well, you could, but it'd be an awful long number because it's serialized. The number has to start with my FFL number. So like the first two, and the last 5 or something like that. So there's like 5 or 6 numbers to start off, and then the serial number. So, I mean, technically you could, but it'd be a pain in the ass.
Maybe just EFF ATF. There we go. FATF.
I like that. Maybe that's what I'll start doing on those.
You're welcome. I bet nobody's thought of that before. 100% original idea right there.
Did you see that the Predator mags I did a while ago? The one was this stuff will make you a goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus.
Oh yeah.
And then there was another one, if it bleeds, we can kill it. But in that Predator language, down at the very bottom of the mag.
Oh yeah.
I had the Predator font there, and it actually says "fuck the ATF" and and Predator, but nobody can tell it. But I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Real Predator fans can tell it.
That's right. That's right.
No, that's good, clean family fun right there.
Yeah, good stuff.
So as we continue to bitch about the ATF, what is this about an app that they've created?
Yeah, so they have this app called Report It. And so what you can do is go in and it says it's anonymous reporting, but your phone is, everybody knows anything that you download is not anonymous. They can easily track you, I'm sure. But essentially it's just a tip line that you can go in and turn people in for whatever. I'm not sure if it's just, I don't think it's just the ATF that's using the Report It app. I went and it's available on the App Store and Google Play, but it says see it, say it, report it. So I think it's pretty much all law enforcement, but the ATF is just on it as well. But basically, it's a fucking, if you don't have the balls to actually call the cops and talk to them, you can be a massive pussy and do it this way. And that's essentially what it is. But of course, I went and looked at some of the reviews for it. It currently has a 1.6 star rating out of 5.
No kidding.
Absolutely trash. It's every single review is just freaking horrible. So just like anything the government does, they can't even build a fucking app that an 8-year-old can build. So it's
how fucking hard is that to build an app where you just report something on it?
Well,
it's not like it's super complex thing.
You remember the healthcare.gov that cost them like $300 million or something like that? They're morons. They can't do anything right. So I don't know. It's stupid. Just we're going down that road of what is it, the brown shirts for the Nazis. I mean, this is turning people in and shit. This is just ridiculous, but it is what it is. It doesn't even surprise me in the least bit. I bet they're not going to get a whole lot of use out of it.
Oh, sure they will. Yeah, they will. So on that app, how does that work? Do you select who you're reporting to?
Yeah, so it sounds like you I sure as hell wasn't going to download it, but it sounds like you select like what exactly is the problem. The reportit.com, the homepage says Reportit empowers everyone to easily say something when they see something at work, home, school, or play. Let the Reportit app help make positive changes in your workplace, neighborhood, or school anonymously. The app utilizes AI inspired technology, and it apparently says you can select what exactly is the issue, and then you can report whatever it is. So I think it's more than just the ATF, but sounds real stupid, real horrible to me, actually.
I mean, I was thinking a whole lot of people could download it and just flood it with absolute garbage, but there probably is a handful of things in there that are actually that we would probably be a hindrance to that we don't exactly want to.
Well, that, and like I said, they say it's anonymous, but I guarantee that they can track this shit. I guarantee it. So if you're
definitely.
like, if you're doing something, even just bullshit tips, they're gonna come and screw with you. So I would advise against that, unless you got a burner phone. Then have at it.
Karen, Josh says it's a Karen app. Got it. You have it? You have that app, Josh? I think we're behind a bit on the broadcast.
No, he says got it like he understands. It's a Karen app. Got it. Understand. Yeah. He's also saying he's drinking a smoked old fashioned. Ooh,
fancy motherfucker.
Hell yeah. Dude spent the time to make one of those before he sat down and listened to us. I'm impressed.
God damn it. Now I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
I had something super wise to say, I'm sure.
More than likely.
So do you think? No, probably not. I was wondering if, because I had the idea, the gun community is going to band together and flood this app with false fucking reports or whatever, so they got to shut it down. But I don't think the gun community is worried enough about that to want to do something like that, are they?
No, you'd have to use like that website 4chan or something like that, or one of those websites that they're real freaking crazy on. But it's totally doable. You could flood them with so much bullshit that they'd never they would, it'd be essentially useless.
Yeah. Boy, we're really plowing through the topics tonight. Looks like it's going to be a quick episode.
That's all right. It's all right. Don't need to be super long.
That's what she said.
Boy, you ain't lying.
Okay, well, I suppose let's move on. So this is not the most exciting piece of gear that we have here, but I think it's kind of neat. So after a couple less exciting releases from Smith & Wesson with their CSX and the M&P 12 shotgun, they finally released a metal framed version of their M2.0. So this comes with all the features of the polymer frame counterpart of it, but adds the frame made of T6 aluminum, has tungsten gray Cerakote on both the slide and the frame, comes optic ready, and an enhanced sear, and their new flat face trigger that they put on their Shield Plus is where they started with that. This isn't super excited, but I thought this was I'm kind of excited about this. I mean, it's not groundbreaking or anything like that, but I like that companies are putting metal frames on what are typically polymer framed guns. I think there's a lot of people that are actually excited about that. There's seem to be a much more welcoming much more welcome in the community from what I've seen so far about this.
That actually did look pretty sweet. I saw a picture of it earlier today, and it looks like a badass little gun.
Yeah. The frame is a little bit different than the polymer one. It still accepts the old mags, and you can interchange slides and all that shit. But it is a little more updated. It doesn't have stippling everywhere on it. Instead, it's just the palm swells, and there's stippling on the front of the grip. But one thing that surprised me, I expected it to be heavier, but I guess it's only aluminum, so it only added 2 ounces of weight over the polymer.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. So, like, is this a gun that anybody is going to carry, or is it more of like just a competition or range gun, or what? What do you think people are going to use it for?
Um, I don't know. Probably, I don't think it's heavy enough for it to be a super interesting to competitive shooters. They like steel frame things, like Walther's shit. I forget which one that is. Q9 SF or something like that. But I would carry it. For some reason, that's just appealing to me. The aluminum frame, the more rigid, a little bit heavier frame is appealing to me. I can't really understand why, but it just is. Cliff, nope, won't even make a good boat anchor. You're right, Cliff. It only weighs 30 ounces. That would be an awful boat anchor.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think I was obsessed for a while with who the hell has that? What's that 1911 that I did with the polymer frame? The Toms you took pictures of, actually.
That's like American Tactical.
Right, ATI. Yes, yes. I think it's just that's always interesting when they do that, though. They swap something up from a mostly polymer to a metal frame, and vice versa. But Gene says, I think they're shooting for a duty carry pistol. Yeah, I could see that, carrying it not concealed, but just kind of on your hip or whatever. But Box, you think you'd actually carry it concealed?
Yeah. I don't think I'd have any problem with that. I mean, it's not any bigger than what I'm already carrying, and plus 2 ounces, I don't think it would make any difference.
Sorry.
You're laughing at
yeah.
Are you laughing at Dylan, or are you talking about, you laughing at an innuendo that I didn't?
I was laughing at your innuendo, but Dylan says, sorry, I'm late. I had to take my pants off. Hey, me too, brother. You better hope I don't run out of whiskey and have to stand up, because I'm going commando under here.
Boy, I wish I didn't know that.
I kid.
But the M&P is already a duty carry pistol, though.
It is.
I mean, and it has been for a very long time. So it's not like they had to do this. Well, I think they're just taking advantage of, because they just started manufacturing the CSX, which that's metal framed as well. So yeah. I think they're taking advantage of whatever manufacturing methods they're used to make that CSX to jump into this new metal frame area. They see other companies doing it, so they're like, we might as well do that too. People actually like that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I don't think I think it's a cool idea. I think it'll be a nice gun. Smith & Wesson always puts out a great product. So, but personally, I think it's just they're, like you said, taking advantage of, they're riding the wave right now. If people think this is like, I mean, it's cool. There's no denying it looks cool. It's different. It's aluminum, rather than the years and years and years of the M&P being polymer. Hell, why not do it? That's like, if and I don't see anything wrong with that. I think what kind of MSRP is it? Is it more expensive?
Yeah, it's $8.99 is the MSRP.
Okay. Compared to what, like $5.99 generally for a normal M&P, somewhere in that ballpark?
I guess I didn't look at that MSRP. Somewhere around there. Cliff has some serious animosity towards. Shut your whore mouth, Sam. They're junk.
Mm. Fair enough,
I don't know
Cliff.
what you're so angry about, Cliff, but they're clearly not junk. But it's also optics ready, which you can't get an optic ready M&P unless it's a performance center. And a lot of people, myself included, I don't want the ported barrel or some of the other shit that the performance center comes with. I just want the optic ready slide. So that's also kind of nice.
It can't be too long before Smith & Wesson starts offering optic ready on their normal pistols or on their normal M&P line. I mean, because that's the way everybody's going. Glock's already got the MOS. It's not going to be standard, but I guarantee, but it's got to be too long. It can't be too long before they just start offering that as an option at the very least.
Well, I don't know why they're not. Well, they already proved that they have the tooling and shit. They have the process down for doing it with the performance center and with this one. I mean, this slide is no different than your regular. Where the fuck did you go, Sam? I guess you're going to get a close-up on my face here. I don't know what's happening. So this is awkward. Hold on here, folks. I'm not sure what's going on. Sam says his computer died. He'll be back. Nice. Nice, Sam. Always coming prepared. So just stare at my beautiful face for a little bit, I guess. Cliff. Really, why is it that you hate Smith & Wesson so much? I am very curious. Is it just because I'm a fan of Smith & Wesson? Is that what it is? Your audio is not working, Sam. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
So Cliff just texted me. He says Facebook just put him in jail for malicious and harassing comments. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh my gosh.
Now that I think about it, I'm actually kind of surprised that hasn't happened before.
Oh man, dude, this is just freaking ridiculous. Like, he was just, that's the thing that Facebook doesn't understand. They use AI to catch all this shit. He said, "Shut your whore mouth, Sam." So essentially, he called me a whore, and they put him in Facebook jail because of it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
That's good stuff.
I'm gonna respond to him quick and ask him if they told him how long.
That's fun stuff. Well, now I've completely lost what we were talking about.
I have absolutely no idea what we were talking about.
I was on some big old monologue, but then you disappeared and my face got giant on the screen, and I panicked and didn't know what to do.
I was weird. I'm just sitting here, and all of a sudden my whole setup just goes bloop, just turned off.
Is it plugged in?
Yeah, it's 100% charged. Everything is good, and it just all completely died. Hit the power button, it came right back on. I had to sign back in and sign back into Zoom, and all of a sudden I'm here. I have no idea.
Huh. I wonder if some of your power options got changed or something to power off after a certain amount of time.
Maybe. Gene says Sam probably needed a whiskey and didn't want us to see that he was really going commando. You caught me, Gene. You caught me. Oh, that was interesting though. That's so yeah, Cliff, I'm sorry you're in jail, man. That sucks. If you anything you want me to say, just text me and I'll say it for you. As long as it doesn't get me thrown in Facebook jail too.
Oh, you can't even watch it anymore, no, though, can he? Or can you when you're in jail?
Yeah, you can
or
still
you just
watch.
Can't comment.
You just can't comment on anything.
Serves you right, Cliff, for being such an asshole to me all the time. What's Dylan saying there?
He says, "I'm not at liberty to discuss, but the ATF, FBI, and local law enforcement approached a gentleman in Iowa regarding an FRT solvent traps. We'll probably have more info in a day or two. I assume that's going to come out on IFC, Dylan. But yeah, there's a whole lot of real bad shit going on right now with the Rare Breeds FRT 15 triggers and solvent traps. They're literally going door to door and threatening people. As of right now, there's been very little. There hasn't been any search warrants or anything like that obtained. But if you have one of these, you might want to be talking to a lawyer. Mainly, it's people that bought them on Gun Broker. So, and also the solvent traps from Diversified Machine. So if you happen to get any of these items from those places, put your ducks in a row and know what you're going to do when the ATF shows up. So, yeah, Dylan, if as soon as you know more about that, please contact us and let me know if you would. I didn't know there was hadn't seen any of that in Iowa thus far, but it was bound to happen, I guess.
I'm
Sorry,
curious.
Box.
I want to keep asking questions. Tell me more, Dylan. God damn it.
He says he's not at liberty to discuss much.
That's fine. Sign in under a random name and give us the deets. Yeah, Dylan, he said guy on Gun Broker is suspiciously still selling solvent traps on Gun Broker. Rifle Remedy 2000 is the guy's name. I'll let you know ASAP. Yeah, we just recorded another podcast last night. The one that'll come out on Monday, correct? Not 2 Mondays from now. We talked quite a bit about this and Rifle Remedy 2000 on that podcast, so I don't think
we found it was also very suspicious that the guy is still selling solvent traps. It doesn't not make any sense whatsoever, because if the ATF visited him and took his client list and he's still selling solvent traps, that tells me that he's still selling them and still giving the information to the ATF. That's just my opinion on the deal. That's not anything verified, but yeah, it's not a good situation.
Sneaky little bastards. We should use that ATF app to report the ATF. That one guy did. He called the local police when the ATF showed up and said there's a man impersonating a federal agent trying to look at my guns or whatever.
Yeah,
we were talking about.
Yeah, and they tackled him. I'm a federal agent. I don't care. Show me your hands.
Good stuff.
I have a medical condition. Stop resisting.
Good, clean family fun right there. It's always a good day when the ATF gets tackled.
Definitely. Good stuff.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Moving on to more new pistols, this time with Sig Sauer. I still don't know how to properly say that. Is that it, or is it Sawyer? No, it's not Sawyer. Sig Sauer, is it right?
Sauer. Sig Sauer. Yeah, like Stone Sour instead of Sig Sauer.
Got it. Anyways, they have released the P365 X-Macro, which is probably like the 35th variation of the P365 at this time. Sig is pretty good at doing that, dropping fucking gazillions of variations of their pistols.
Dropping bombs!
What they did with this one is they took a P365 XL slide and they put it on a larger frame that comes with 17 round mags. And but it is compensated, unlike the XL. So it's kind of like the 365 XL Spectre Comp, but with the Spectre Comp version, that adds length to the slide. But what they did with the X-Macro is it's a part of I guess with the Spectre Comp it is too, but they just shortened the slide so it's not any longer than your regular P365 XL, but it has that comp on it. I don't know if it's the same comp as the Spectre version or if it's slightly different. It looks to be the same to me anyways. And then they moved that front sight post back behind the comp, so it's a little bit shorter than normal, but I think it's still like a 5.1 inch sight radius or something. So that's still pretty good right there. And it also comes with X-ray 3 night sights. It's just over 1 inch wide, just like your regular 365 XL.
Uh-huh.
6.6 inches long, 3.1 inch barrel, and 5.2 inches high. So it's around the same size as your Glock 19, I think, but it's lighter and narrower and holds more. Right?
Yes. Josh asks, is it ported also? I don't believe so.
It's not ported. It's just got that comp on it.
So essentially, it sounds like the barrel is about the length of a P365, normal P365, and the slide is the length of a P365 XL. Correct? Am I right in that assumption?
I guess I don't know the length of the 365. That sounds about right, though. Yeah, those are usually around 3-inch barrels, those size guns.
Right. So the barrel is shorter than the slide, and then the slide is what has the compensator in it, essentially.
Correct. All one piece.
Okay. I'm curious how much that actually reduces recoil. I did watch a review on this by the Honest Outlaw, and he was saying that it's pert near. That's a scientific term, by the way. Pert near, just like his Spectre, the Sig Spectre. What is it called? Spectre Comp or something like that. Box.
The 365 XL Spectre Comp. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so he says the recoil is very similar to that. But what kind of it's got a 17 round mag. Is it longer than a 365 XL? I mean, the grip wise, is it longer? Apparently, just a little bit.
I believe so.
Okay.
But you can, I think, no, maybe you can't. I don't know. I guess I can't. I won't speak to that because I'm not.
You're talking about putting the slide on and on a different lower.
I was thinking of using 17 round mags in your regular 365 XL, but I guess I don't know if those are interchangeable. Maybe these are different, slightly different mags. I don't know if these are stack and a half or if they're larger than that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. This whole thing is just interesting to me because I feel like this is kind of like this is still in its early. You know, you had the Spectre Comp and now this, and I feel like we're slowly headed towards this being a real thing. Compensated, factory compensated guns like this, because that's my biggest issue with my 43X. I can shoot. I shoot my 19 very well. My 43X, which is my carry gun, I don't shoot it quite as well, but I still the recoil is just a little bit more. It's a little bit poppier, but I carry it because of the size. It's much easier for me to carry, so I got to take the negative with it. But I feel like that's kind of where the development of carry guns is going to start heading a little bit, is to that compensated gun that helps reduce the poppiness of these smaller guns. So, and I'm kind of excited about it. I think it's going to be a really good thing.
I don't know if that is where it's headed. I don't know, because it's still pretty debatable about how effective those comps are on those little guns.
Right.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of compensator there. And those guns are going to be snappy no matter what.
I would agree. But also, and the reason I bring that up is because of we're not going to talk about it right now, but one of our following products is also something that I'm really excited about. That's a compensated type situation that reduces recoil significantly. So then that's kind of why I feel like stuff is going to kind of start heading this way, because I mean, just think about it though, like a 43X, like you saw it the other day when I was shooting, when we were out shooting at the range, I was much more accurate at longer range with my 19 because it's a lot less recoil. And then I get my 43X and it's just a lot poppier. I'm not as quick and I'm not as accurate with that. So if we could get that poppiness down a little bit, man, I would be super excited about that.
What they need to do is start making them with steel frames. Make them heavier. That also help.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I like the size and the weight of my 43X. So I'd be really hesitant to get anything more. Box, damn it. I want the best of everything for the littlest inconvenience possible. I'm an American, damn it.
Yeah, clearly.
I want the lightest gun with no freaking recoil whatsoever. Damn it. For $300.
Boy, you're gonna be waiting for a while. Maybe one of those new Gauss rifles in like 100 years. You can grab one of those.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm actually I want to get my hands on one of these SIGs and see how they shoot. And how I'm also curious how big they are as compared to like a 43X. I know they're going to be longer. They'll probably be more like the Glock 48. But I'm just curious about the total size package as well. So
you're always wondering about how big the package is.
Yeah, can't wait to get my hands on that package. I got to see how big it is, Box.
I think it's kind of funny though. The big thing, and still, well, it's kind of dwindling down now. But the big thing for a while was build the smallest possible gun with the most amount of rounds. Now they're taking those tiny little guns and just making them bigger and being like, we reinvented the wheel. I think that's kind of funny.
Well,
no, you're just back at where you started.
Well, yes, but you also look at this thing's got 17 rounds as well.
Well, it's practically the same size as the P320, but it's a little thinner.
Oh, so essentially what they did was went with the Glock 48 style, just same size as a 19, just thinner.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also rocking 17 rounds in it. That's pretty exciting. Is it not?
I don't know.
Remember, Box, we're American. We want all the rounds. We want none of the recoil. And as small as possible.
I feel like it's not going to be probably any smaller than my M&P compact.
Maybe not, but even if it's the same size, just a little bit thinner, but you have reduced recoil and 2+ rounds.
I have 17 rounds and a flared magwell.
You have 17 rounds in that? Oh yeah, that's the size of that's bigger than okay. All right. Well, fair enough.
Well, I didn't. It's factory 15, but I had to get new mag base plates to run with that flared magwell.
Okay. How much length does it add? Very much? Or
it's not any longer. I think it's a little bit shorter than your full size M&P, the 4.25.
Okay. Speaking of which, the other day I was just thinking I need to redo that whole thing. I need to put an optic cut on it, get that sucker stippled, and actually make it pretty because I don't even freaking look at that thing anymore.
Because it's not pretty?
Yes. I only like pretty guns. Josh says 43X is the tits. Ordered. I can't type for shit. Josh, are you talking about you ordered the 43 or the 365 macro? Also, he says
he's talking about the Walther PDP.
Oh, okay. What's the PDP?
Walther dropped a new. It's their personal defense pistol or whatever, I think is what they called, or I think that's what it's supposed to stand for. It's supposed to be real nice though. It's just another polymer frame, full size pistol.
Walther seems to be kind of like breaking into it a little bit though. You're seeing a lot more of their shit. Seems like lately.
Walther's a very, very good company. They don't get quite the respect maybe they do get the respect. They're just not as well known as, or as big and popular as Glock, but they make
Yeah,
pretty great products.
I would agree.
Yeah, I've heard nothing good about that. To answer your question, or nothing bad about that. PDP, Josh, I've heard nothing but good things from just about everyone that says it. I wanted to get my hands on it myself, but I'm broke and pathetic, so
Yeah, I'll check that out. I don't know anything about it as well, but I do know the guy that does all the Cerakoting for Walther. At least he used to within the last couple of years. I assume he still does, but that's a totally unrelated topic. I just, had to throw that out there.
all the Cerakoting? How much Cerakoting does Walther do?
A good amount. They used to, and I don't know how much he's still doing. Foxfire Finishes was doing a shitload of their Cerakote work, and I was kind of glad that it wasn't me because it sounded like he was overwhelmed with shit for a long time. But I haven't talked to him about that specific thing for a while, so I don't know. But I'm gonna have to check out this PDP and see what the hell that's all about.
I think we may have talked about it. I'm not sure because when it came out, I was pretty excited about it, and I am kind of aroused by it. So
I get that. I get that.
It's a sexy little gun.
I get that.
I think Walther might be the sexiest of all the firearms manufacturers.
Yeah. I asked my girlfriend the other day if she was ever sexually aroused by objects, because guns, cars, dudes can totally be, aroused by those. She totally did not have any idea what the hell I was talking about. She just thought I was a freaking lunatic.
Did you flop it out and do the helicopter then? Be like, what about this object?
You like this object, baby? George. Yes. He's good shit.
Josh George? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we should move on to the final gears of the night. The Radian Ramjet Afterburner. That's a fucking mouthful for whatever this is. What is this thing, Sam? Tell me about it.
Well, we were just talking about being sexually aroused by objects. And if I could ever be sexually aroused by a Glock barrel, this would be it. So essentially what this is, and this goes well with our previous subject. This is you buy this from Radian Weapons, and they sell you a barrel as well as a little comp that goes with it. So essentially this just replaces your Glock barrel, and you slide the barrel in just like usual, and then your little compensator goes on the front. It's a very small compensator though, so it essentially adds just the length of it basically makes your Glock 19. Right now these are all for Glock 19s, by the way. That's for the Gen 3, Gen 4, and Gen 5, but they essentially turn your Glock 19 into the length of a Glock 17. So it doesn't add very much length to it. Very short compensator. But the exciting thing about this is they're claiming like a 44% reduction in recoil, which is pretty freaking insane. And the reviews that I've watched on this, none of them have been scientific by, actually checking recoil, but every single person that I saw review it says, I absolutely believe it's a 44% reduction in recoil.
That sounds like a whole lot.
Yeah, it's just under half. I mean, basically it would take it down almost half. But you watch the videos and I mean, yeah, you could see it. You could definitely see it. And it looks sexy. It's just the way that the curves to it and the way that it forms to the gun and everything. I am definitely going to buy it for this particular Glock right here.
I'm going to throw up a picture here. I'm not sure this is it, but you probably won't see it for several seconds. Is that it?
1 second. My screen froze here, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to.
Oh, neat. But yeah, it looks like it's about a 1/2 inch long.
Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. Yep.
I don't see the sexiness to it, but sure.
Well, mostly if it's just, if you look at it, I'm looking at it on Radian's website outside of the gun. But I'm also imagining how it looks on this particular gun right here. And I think it's just going to go awesome with it. So unfortunately, this is also, it's not cheap. This MSR, it goes for about $390. So it's freaking expensive.
But that comes with the barrel.
Yes, you get the barrel and the comp. And so the barrel slides in just like normal. You put the comp in, and it's not a threaded, so this is 50 state legal, which obviously a lot of comps you have to have a threaded barrel such as this for them to work. And then that adds quite a lot of comps are significantly longer than that. But this is just, you kind of slide it on there, and it's uses a triangle with corners. It's got 3 corners box like a triangle.
I knew you were going to go there.
And then you just kind of slide a pin in from the side. Screw a pin in, excuse me. So I'm really excited for this. And if it's something that, I shoot a ton of rounds through, and I could see, I see that it's reliable, and every review that I've heard or that I saw, it's extremely reliable. They were having no issues with all sorts of ammo. And that's one thing that you got to watch out for when you compensate a gun, is it gets kind of finicky with some of the ammo that it shoots. And this is, other people are having no issues with this. So, kind of cool. I'm really excited about this one as well. So we'll see how it all works out. Like I said, I'm going to get one, but pretty much anywhere you order, they're on back order right now. So, we'll see if I get one before next year, but I hope so. But like I was saying, that's kind of like, that's where I see kind of the industry going a little bit, is let's try and get rid of some of that recoil on these smaller guns. So if it works for these, hell yeah.
How much you want to bet that they start coming after compensators in the next 2 years?
Well, they do. That's why so many states in the assault weapons ban, they specifically say threaded barrels. So technically, this in the assault weapons ban that passed the House a month or so ago, this gun here is actually an assault weapon. I don't know why they are so scared of threaded barrels, but that, as I said before, this afterburner comp that we're just talking about is 50 state legal, is because it does not use a threaded barrel. It uses, just kind of slides on there and uses a pin. So they're going to have a hard time regulating that with the wording, but it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me in the least bit if they tried to do that bullshit.
Nope. Anything that makes our lives easier. And Dylan says, technically, the feds can literally go fuck themselves. I don't think I've ever agreed with anything more than that, Dylan. Very eloquently put.
This message is endorsed by Life Short Live Free. I don't say that very often, but that's definitely endorse that. So
Dylan's comment does reflect the opinions of the Life Short Live Free crew.
Absolutely. So, Box, what do you think about this whole situation? This whole ramjet situation?
I think it's interesting. I don't know. For some reason, I'm just not on the whole compensator thing. I want to learn how to run a gun as best as I can without a compensator, and then I'll throw one on.
Yeah, I had that thought too, and I kind of feel the same way. Like it won't, if I do put it on this gun, and all of a sudden this gun shoots like a freaking Glock 44, like a 22 caliber. I can't do all of my training with this, because then if I roll to a normal Glock 43X or an uncompensated 19, then I won't be able to shoot for shit because you're used to that no recoil. But I'm hopeful that they come out with these things for like the 43s, because that would be freaking badass if you could get one of these for a 43X, and then you're rolling around with a badass little compensated 43X. I would be super excited about that.
So what models are these available for?
Right now, it's just Glock 19s, Gen 3, Gen 4, and Gen 5. So obviously the gens are specific. You got to order the specific one for them. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get one coming, I believe.
I don't know if it's worth $400, but it's intriguing. 44% is a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, but what are you gonna do when I let you shoot my Glock 19? You're like, well, shit, I don't even like my gun anymore. I got to go spend $700 on a new Glock. That
won't happen. I don't like Glocks. Not a Glock man.
Yeah, I get that. They ain't for everybody.
Stupid Austrian shit.
Yeah. Gene says work smarter, not harder. Abso-freaking-lutely, man. Abso-freaking-lutely. Box, can you hold down the fort for 2 seconds? I got to go grab a mag. Josh wanted me to talk about something.
Sure. Run. Hurry.
Be interesting. Don't be boring.
Yeah, that's going to happen. You guys saw how I held the fort down a few minutes ago and Sam disappeared. I'm just too fucking awkward to do this thing on my own, guys. I don't know how I do it, but I just do it. Oh, thank God he's back. Ugh.
Guys, was he interesting or was he boring?
No, I was literally explaining how awkward I am.
Oh, jeez. So this is probably going to be freaking backwards, unfortunately. Is this backwards? No, it's right side. Okay, Box.
Josh says, please have pants. Please have pants.
I have pants on. I was just screwing with you guys. Box. Did you see this on my Facebook earlier?
I did, and I do not understand it.
See, and that's what I thought. I didn't think most people would get this. So what this is, I'm doing some John Deere shit right now, and I saw something on Join or Die, and I was like, you know what, John Deere, Join or Die, that's pretty close. So what I did was I took the John Deere font and I put Join or Die in the John Deere font, and then I took their little John Deere emblem and put the snake in it, the Join or Die snake. I don't think a whole lot of people got it. And really, I was just fucking around having a good time because I like doing shit like this. So, but I don't think, so you don't get it, Box? It didn't click?
I got the John Deere reference. I didn't know if there was a correlation between the snake and the John Deere thing. No,
there's
that's why
no
I was
correlation
confused.
between John Deere and snake. The only reason I did it is because John Deere and Join or Die were close, and I thought, if you put the same exact font in there, it'd be kind of interesting. But it did cause me to look into the Join or Die flag, and actually that was it was like like kind of one of the first political cartoons by Benjamin Franklin, actually back in like the 1750s, I think it was. And at that point, all these colonies were under colonial rule, or were under British rule still. And this was essentially just kind of like it lists 8 of them, and because New England is in there as all the 4 states instead of separate ones. But they're essentially saying what this is we either join together or we're going to die. So I found it interesting that it, like, right now it seems like, I think this is one of the things that the AT or the government says is extremist. I think this is probably one of the flags, the Join or Die flag.
But I'm sure it's probably somewhere on there.
it's not saying like join us or die. This is essentially saying unity. Like we have to join together as unite. Otherwise, we're not going to make it. And it also is a play towards, obviously the snake is cut up into 8 pieces. And there was a superstition back then that if you cut up a snake and you put it together before the sun come up, that it would grow back together and live or whatever. So that was kind of a play on that. But I just found it interesting that join or die, it's basically calling for unity. It's not like an extremist slogan or whatever, that everybody seems to think it was.
It's essentially, it boils down to what Al Pacino said in Any Given Sunday in his final motivational speech in the locker room. Either we come together as a team right now or we die as individuals.
Exactly. And I think that's exactly
that's probably where it came from.
Yeah, I'm sure. So that's exactly what this is saying. And actually this slogan had a lot to do with the unification of the American colonies. And of course the British, they took it as, they were offended by it and took it as something that, they're trying to, those damn terrorists, and everything like that. So, which is essentially what the government is viewing us as right now. So I don't know, just a interesting tidbit of information that I researched today, and I kind of enjoyed. So that's all I got on that, though.
That was very fascinating.
Thanks.
Can always do with a good history lesson.
That's right. That's right.
Did you get either the name or the year right? You said Benjamin Franklin in like the 1730s.
No, I think it was like 1754. Hold on, let me double check that.
Yeah, we need to fact check this.
Flag history. I'm pretty sure it was 1754. Yep. First published in 1754 by Benjamin Franklin as a political cartoon for the Pennsylvania Gazette, an early American newspaper. The cartoon is representative of, let me see here. I lost my spot when I clicked on it. The cartoon is a representation of all the British colonies in a cut-up segmented rattlesnake, which Franklin described as the present disunited stance of the British colonies. The letters next to the snake are abbreviations for each colony in geographical order. Ben Franklin's goal was to unite the colonies during the French and Indian War, which lasted 7 years. And then it talks about the superstition, which I talked a little bit about. But even though the cartoon was published long before the Revolution, the American Revolution, it did not lose its popularity. Prior to the Declaration of Independence, the illustration was recycled as a banner promoting independence from Britain. Many newspapers throughout the colonies reprinted the illustration, which promoted the unification of the colonies to create a stronger force against the British rule. So, and there's a whole freaking article here about this that I find interesting, but I won't bore you guys with it. But if you're intrigued by stuff like that, go Google it. Join or die flag history, and it'll tell you all about it. There's actually a Wikipedia on it as well, so you can go check that out too. Pretty interesting stuff. I find it to be, at least.
Interesting stuff. That's pretty neat.
Thanks.
Okay, well, I guess we should probably call it, because we're just going to hang around and talk about gibberish if we don't. So thank you, everyone, for stopping by. Thank you, Cliff, for sacrificing yourself to the Facebook gods for us. Be sure to listen to our entire catalog of podcasts on most major podcast providers and also on our website. If you enjoy what we do and you want to help support the show, check out our Subscribe Star page for exclusive content and other benefits. If you want to get more involved with the community, join our forum on lifeshortlivefree.com. If you aren't aware, Gears and Beers is streamed live every other Wednesday night at 8:30 Central Time. Hopefully back on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and on our website next time at least. We would love for you to come get involved in the conversation. Be sure to check out our sponsors, Shyworks at shyworks.com and on Facebook, and Ballistic Imagery at ballisticimagery.com and also on Facebook. And that's the show, folks. That's all we have to say about that. Take us away, Sam.
Yeah, a couple quick things. Cliff did comment back, or text back. He said he got a 24-hour commenting ban. So, Cliff, thanks, buddy. Also, Gene says, did you check on why the rattlesnake was used when representing us? No, I did not. Can you text me that information? Because I didn't happen to read any of that when I was researching it. Dylan says, great show, gents. Thank you very much. Guys, we will be back in 2 weeks. That's how we talk to you then. Remember, life's short, live free, God bless. God bless the United States of America.
Defund the ATF.
Repeal the NFA. Grow food, become ungovernable.